Thanks for clicking on State of the City. My name is Todd Prafke. I'm the City Administrator here in St. Peter, and I really appreciate you taking time to view this video blog, whether it's on Facebook or on our YouTube channel or through our website. We really appreciate you taking the time. Now, normally I have two kind of missions, and that is the case today. Today is the 2nd of July, and so that means that we're only a couple of days from the great, the big, the fantastic old-fashioned 4th of July here in St. Peter. So I'm going to cover some tidbits first, mostly about the 4th of July. So I want to put this up. So if you haven't seen this before, this shows the parade route in St. Peter on the 4th. Now the parade starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it starts at Broadway, which is here. Starts here at Broadway, and it moves to the south to Elm Street, and then moves to the east and ends at Minnesota Square Park, where lots of fantastic things go on. There'll be games and a water slide and petting zoo and all kinds of different fantastic things, not to mention the great food that's there with the famous St. Peter barbecued chicken and the brats, and just some wonderful events and music and activities. So if you have not been to St. Peter before, this is a great way for you to decide where you're going to sit to watch the parade starting at 10, and a great way to finish the afternoon at Minnesota Square Park with some great chicken or brats or any of the other wonderful things that vendors will be providing there for your picnic in the beautiful Minnesota Square Park. So look for that. We're happy to have you there, and I really want to thank folks. I was out a little bit earlier today, and even though it is the 2nd of July, we don't have as many people squatting along the parade route as we normally do. So I don't know if people heard our message or are just thinking a little bit differently because the holiday here is on the weekend. But really, thanks, folks, for your cooperation in helping make sure that we don't have tarps and blankets and chairs and ribbons out a week in advance of the parade. So we really appreciate your cooperation with that. Also, one last thing, if you're interested in volunteering for the 4th, give the Chamber a call at 934-3400. I know they're always looking for volunteers, and will be again next year. The 4th of July is sponsored by, is really put on by the Chamber of Commerce here in St. Peter. So we want to thank them for making this very important holiday in our history wonderful for us, and a great activity for all of the family. The next thing I want to mention is the goal setting session. Now, normally on Monday nights, prior to this video blog, we would have had a workshop. So our pattern kind of goes, the 1st and 3rd Mondays are workshops, and the 2nd and 4th Mondays are regular council meetings. But since June had 5 Mondays, lately the council's been reserving the 5th Mondays for something that we call a goal setting session. So you'll see there at the top, and here's kind of the agenda. You can see all my notes and other things listed on there. If you want to see exactly what's in the packet, you can go under our website and see that. We'd really encourage you to do that. Here is the location for our website, stpetermn.gov. You can see that. And so you can see exactly what's on there, but I wanted to take just a few moments and talk about some of the big picture things. First of all, again, I mentioned the timeline or the dates. Generally, it's quarterly, sort of, when they meet and talk about goals. Oftentimes, they use these goal sessions for really 2 primary purposes, one of which is to talk at the 50,000-foot level about things, kind of from the big picture and how the city's doing its work. What are people looking for? How do we cooperate with others? What kind of activities do we have going on? I think oftentimes, too, the goal-setting sessions have some agenda items that are really a deep dive, where we're drilling down very deeply into very specific issues that the council have identified in that big term. So that's really important. Some of the issues that they talked about and really spent a lot of time in conversation on were housing within our community, the changing nature of housing, not just within St. Peter, but within the upper Midwest, within our nation as a whole. Also thinking about what do we do to continue to promote opportunity for housing within our community. Not just in one segment of the housing market, which maybe it's moderate income, or maybe it's high end, or maybe it's in the middle someplace, not focusing on one, but focusing on the whole, and knowing that, God, we're just like a lot of other businesses. We kind of have to have some inventory, some opportunity in all segments of the housing market. Otherwise, we miss out on some of those great people that might want to come and be with us. One of the other discussions that the council spent a little bit of time about was talking about communications, and it includes things like the hot sheet. Here's an example of the hot sheet. And it includes things like our Facebook page and like our utility flyer and our website and some of the information that we provide to folks like you who might be interested in the community. And it includes the video blog. And are we doing a good job with that? Is there more that we can do? What do people want to see? What attracts them to our information? How can we make people know things? How can we help them have opportunity to know things? And so the council spends a lot of time in talking about the quality of that, how we do that. Are there new, better ways to make that connection with people so people really know what's going on within St. Peter? It really is one of their overall goals to help ensure that people who want to participate, who want to know, have the opportunity to know. And so I'm excited about that and some of the challenges that the council has put forward to us in that. We also talked a lot about partnerships, and so we have partners with the school district and the county and the regional treatment center, and certainly lots of other folks, the Arts Center, the Nicollet County Historical Society. There are so many groups that we have partnerships with, and really talking strategically about how we make those partnerships go, what makes it a good partnership, how could we enhance it, how can we make it better. But I do want to mention the school in particular because I know people ask about that quite a little bit. We continue to work, and over the next few weeks, things will start to come together very quickly. There's been a lot of work done in the background, and things will start to come together. And so next week, one of the groups, one of the subcommittees, which is made up of a couple of school board members and a couple of council members, will be getting together to look at the work that's been done so far on the site plan for that area that used to be the Hermel property and the Lambert farm. But also looking at the Memorandum of Understanding. That Memorandum of Understanding is the basis for how we're going to work together, the city and the school district, and how we're going to make all these varied pieces kind of mesh together better to make it stronger, better for the entire community. And so we're excited about those conversations. There's been a lot of work done in advance of that, and interested for the feedback from those elected officials, and really continuing to move this very, very important project forward. From the city standpoint, it is about developing those recreational opportunities and doing it efficiently and in a way that isn't redundant or duplicative of what's going on with the school district. So we're excited about that and our partnership with the school district. And it's more than, we have partnerships with everybody in all kinds of different areas. So our partnership with the school district is more than just that. We partner on the third floor. We partner on some transit things. We partner on swimming and swimming lessons. We partner on community ed activities and recreation activities. And there's a very long list, but development of parks and school property is certainly one of those things that's on the top of our list right now that needs attention and needs to see continued effort. So now with that, I think I'm going to stop since it's a holiday weekend and not take up too much of your time, but I do want to mention that if you want to get a hold of us, there's a great place to email us. There's our website, lots of great information on our website, including that picture that I showed you of where the 4th of July parade is. If you have questions, call the Chamber, 934-3400. You can also catch us on Facebook. We have lots of great information on there. Or call us at 934-0663. With that, I think I'm going to call it to a close with one last idea. God, I hope you have a great, great Independence Day on the 4th of July. Drive safe, and if you're staying in town, God, we'd love to see you along the parade route or at Minnesota Square Park. It's a great, great event for our community and a wonderful time for us to get together and share time with friends and family and celebrating our country. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great 4th of July and the rest of the week.